Welcome back to the Breaker Bros. Tonight we're going to react to a few different things. Going to start off with Burrow's sideline rant last year.
Yeah, I feel like we're going to the videotape. We're clearing a lot of people, a lot of false accusations floating around. And as the kids say, there's some receipts. And I feel like some people have been falsely accused of saying things or doing things that they didn't really do.
Well, I think the sentiment at that time was that, I mean, obviously Burrow was frustrated on the sidelines, but I kind of remember people saying that he was frustrated at Zach, and part of it was directed towards Zach. And then the video that we're going to watch, or I guess react to, is with Jomboy. But he kind of like, you know, he's known for lip reading. We used to
can you set it up a little bit better than that, though? There's, like, what game was it?
I believe it was the Titans game.
Yeah, which week was that?
I can't remember which week.
Okay. Me either.
But yeah, no, I mean, I feel like we reference Jomboy because, you know, he's kind of known for lip reading, and he kind of gets the overall sentiment. And I think other people
take his lip reading as gospel, and I feel like maybe I was a little too trusting. Well,
he was fairly accurate, but then I think most of the words were kind of obvious. But he did get one thing wrong. But I think if you watch the whole video, he kind of goes and he makes it seem that maybe Burrow is upset with the defense as well. Which, if you go with the actual video clip from quarterback, it wasn't that at all. I mean, he was more frustrated on the offensive side. And I think the documentary kind of like highlights throughout the game, they were jumping off sides a lot, which I kind of forgot about. Or it didn't, like, not that I didn't forget about it, or I guess I didn't really correlate them jumping off sides and him getting frustrated, because at that time, you know, they were still up a pretty good amount, and I think they scored on that drive.
Yeah.
Well,
how is the documentary overall? Is it good? You like it?
Yeah, I thought it was okay. I mean, it's cool to see the behind the scenes, and you know, that perspective. It was just kind of crappy because it was a review of last year, and it kind of sucked reliving some of those moments. But I mean, they did review like the last 5 games as well. I mean, they went through the whole season.
Oh, so the last whole 5 season in one episode, or did you watch all the episodes?
It's like 6 episodes, or no, I think it's 7 episodes in total.
Oh, but they all came out at once.
Yeah, that's how Netflix does it. So you can watch or binge watch it however you want it. But yeah, it just kind of follows the season for the 3 quarterbacks, and they kind of do it relatively the same timing, but like the thing with I think the Lions, Goff, it was like when you get to episode 6 or 7, it's like the Lions are like in the playoffs, to whereas like the Bengals are still like trying to get into the playoffs.
Gotcha.
So the timing's a little bit off, but yeah, I guess they all get the same airplay. But yeah, I guess you just want to review the Jomboy first, and
sure. All right, so I guess this is what we're talking about. Let me pull it up. Okay, so here's Jomboy lip reading Joe Burrow, frustrated Joe Burrow on the sidelines. So here's Jomboy's interpretation of what Burrow's saying. It's real short, so.
Hey, that was embarrassing. We should have beat those guys by fucking 80. Now.
So that is the critical part there. These words here. So I guess in reality, what was said was we jumped offside 8 times, and not we beat those guys by 80. Let's kind of play the whole thing.
I know, fucking embarrassing. We'll address it. But at the same time, let's enjoy some of this. Fuck that. We sucked today. It was embarrassing. We jumped off sides fucking 8 times. I know that.
Yeah, like I feel like to me the big thing when it first came out was that I think people thought Burrow was going after Zach, and it's like from actually hearing the audio, you could just tell he's more frustrated as a whole.
Right. Just seemed like a normal sideline thing, right? Just coach talking to player, right?
Yeah, and I mean, if anything, it would just seem like Taylor had a level head, and he was just like, "Yeah, we'll talk about it later, but let's just kind of like enjoy the moment type of thing." Where I feel like Burrow is typically kind of like that, but I think he's also somewhat of a perfectionist, and I think he desperately wants to get to that next level, which is great. But yeah, no, it's just kind of funny too, because it's also because I think they had asked Burrow and Taylor at the end of the game or during the press conference. They didn't really like talk about it that much. Yeah. But I find it kind of funny too, because it's like they both knew, or for sure Burrow knew, that they actually had the full audio on it. So I guess he knew eventually it was going to come out.
I wonder if he was like told not to talk about that.
Probably, because yeah, it's like that's like prime footage. Because as soon as QB came out, like that clip came out, because they were like, "Oh, okay, this is," because people were asking like, "Wasn't there audio? Like, doesn't anyone have the audio?" Because I kind of remember
has the audio.
Well, no, it makes sense why it didn't come out earlier, because they had
took them a long time to come out with that. Really, I guess it's just a lot of stuff to condense down into 7 episodes, but
yeah,
maybe it's strategic. I guess this is about the time of year where everybody's like ready for some NFL, right?
Yeah, I thought it was kind of nice.
Draft and then a little bit of free agency, and now it's just like, okay, everybody wants to see some football.
Well, I think the ironic part about it was I think they did ask Hurts last year to do it, but he kind of wanted to wait till he won a Super Bowl, I think is what he actually said. So he might be on this upcoming year, but I was thinking that would be the best type of situation if you actually won the Super Bowl, and then you can go back and kind of relive it. Because it's like, if you fall short of the Super Bowl, then it's all kind of sour grapes if you have to relive it, you know?
Yeah. But I mean, I guess Mahomes is the only one that's been on it that's won a Super Bowl, right?
I think so. That sounds about right. Oh, yeah. Cousins was on there.
Cousins was Goff. So I guess Hurts qualifies then, really. Mostly Super Bowl losers.
Oh, no. Yeah. No, I think they did ask him last year, but he kind of turned it down. But I was thinking, like, he probably kind of regretting it now, because this would be, like, now looking back, had he actually did it.
Oh, I see. Yeah. Because he would have had, like, a nice little thing to watch highlighting the Super Bowl win. But they make those anyways, right? Don't they make those like NFL films? Like, do they still sell those?
I think so.
Where it's like, hey, for $29.99, like right after the Super Bowl, right after the Disney World commercial, then there's the like, hey, Eagles fans, you got $30, get your DVD. Except they don't sell it. People don't buy DVDs anymore, right?
I don't know if they still do all the. Because when I used to watch NFL Network all the time, when the team would win the Super Bowl, you would get those commercials, because you could get the replica like ring.
Yeah, but you get like a commemorative video. But like, do they sell like the videos anymore? Like, is it just like downloadable, or?
I feel like they probably still do something for them, especially for the team.
I'm just saying, you know, if not, they're missing out on a revenue stream.
I think they do something. Because now they do stuff on YouTube where they'll highlight, you know, like the top quarterbacks or whoever the position groups. So I feel like they would do something. I feel like they try to capitalize on everything. So,
okay. So you want to move on, talk about this collusion thing?
Yeah, I guess we can hit on that real quick.
Okay.
Or should we do this one?
Yeah, that's better. So confidentiality deal, and it hid the outcome of a collusion grievance. So it doesn't really say, to me, it doesn't say what the outcome was. Just that the league urged owners to limit guaranteed money after the Deshaun Watson deal, but
no, I think
it must have been like a settlement of some sort then, right? Or is there more detailed?
No, I think it did come out sometime last week or the week before that the NFL was found that they did not collude.
Oh, okay. So NFL
But
said they didn't
there's people that
collude.
kept up with the case, and if you look at the details, like I think one of the owners, or someone from the offices of the NFL urged the owners, basically not to do the full guaranteed, which I mean is like obvious, which I feel like a lot of people have been saying.
Yeah, but I think very few owners could afford to do it anyways, right? Because of the whole escrow that you have to put down.
Yeah, but
I mean,
you could still do it, and you should do it, because traditionally, that's how the NFL has always been, especially when it comes to contracts, is that you set precedents.
Yeah, but I'm just saying that, like, who has $500 million to just let the league office hold?
I feel like really only like maybe the top. I don't know. It grows every year because it feels like they're adding more billionaires.
Yeah,
To the pool of owners. But yeah, I feel like maybe the top 12 teams can probably afford to do like a fully guaranteed contract like that and not really hurt them in a certain way. But yeah, I don't think every team can do it. But I think Lamar Jackson at the time was in a position where he probably should have gotten it based off of what had happened before, like a year or two. And it's just like, if you're going to give a Watson a fully guaranteed contract, then you kind of have to give it to Jackson, right? Or anyone that comes after that.
Mm-hmm.
But to me, it was just like obvious that the NFL was going to try to indirectly punish the Browns for doing that, and then try to keep.
I mean, is it? Haven't they suffered enough?
No,
not yet. They still have a few more years to suffer on that.
Well, I mean, they kind of did it to themselves, but
Yeah.
they're also the team that we're talking about is that they're one of the few owners that can probably afford all that stuff, obviously. Because
Yeah, I mean, the worst part about
Watson to
that deal
and
is
they
that,
keep
like,
spending money, and it just seems like, okay, when's it
the
gonna?
worst part about it is that Baker Mayfield is so much better than any of the quarterbacks they've had.
Yeah, I was thrilled when they traded him. I was like, wow, they do not know what they're doing. Like,
yeah, exactly.
but I guess at the time it kind of made sense because if you at that moment of time, most people considered Watson better than Mayfield at that time.
Mm-hmm.
But Watson has not done well since he's been with the Browns.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know if he comes back at all, but yeah, I don't know. I find it interesting, but yeah, it looks like because I guess information started to come out, it seems like the union, I guess on the player side, is actually starting to get upset about it because now they're starting to realize, the owners were talking to each other and they are trying to prevent the fully guaranteed contracts.
Well, of course, the owners talk to each other. They like go to like a hotel in Florida and hang out. I mean,
that's why I feel like you would like Florio's point of view because he's pretty much like calling them out, saying like what you're saying, and he's like, it's kind of foolish. It's like, yeah, they're gonna say on paper.
I'm not a big Florio guy. He's kind of whiny.
He is. I don't. Most things I tend to disagree with him, but when it comes to stuff like this, I'm like on his side because he seems to be. I don't know. I guess looking out for the small person, I guess, or I don't know.
I mean, it's weird, right? Because like when you look at the NFL, is it like Burger King and Wendy's and McDonald's getting together and agreeing that we're only going to pay people that make French fries this amount of money? Or is it like McDonald's saying, hey, everybody owns a McDonald's, let's all go to Florida and this is how much we're going to pay our fry people, right? Because it's like the franchise, they're all in the league. I mean, like, I know they talk about like collusion and stuff, but it's just like they're all in the same league. They agree on all kinds of stuff, right? Like rules and salary cap.
But
and
it's also kind of like a monopoly too, because like it depends on how you look at it. Well, it is a monopoly because it's like if you're an NFL player, where else can you go to get paid an NFL salary? You got to be in the NFL, right? There isn't no other league, huh?
You can go anywhere.
Well, you can't because you're not going to make the same amount of money.
You go Vandy now and make $5 million a year.
Well, yeah, but it's getting to the point where you're paying $60 million to the top quarterback. You can't make that anywhere
I get what you're saying in terms of the player standpoint, but their salary is set by the salary cap, which you know what I mean? Like the salary cap dictates more how much players get paid than like the owners. I mean, you know, it's just as bad, right? They all agree to a salary cap. How's that any different than anything else they collectively bargain? You know what I mean?
Well, the main difference, because I think it always stems to the NFL versus like other sports, like baseball and basketball, right? All the contracts are fully guaranteed, I believe.
Yeah, for the most part, I think. I don't think all.
Yeah,
I think second round draft picks is weird in the NBA, but like guys that sign like deals, yeah, I think their money's usually fully guaranteed.
And I think it's to the NFL's core on the owner side is like to never allow that to happen. I think they all have that unwritten rule where, but to me, that's the main difference. Yeah, you can have a salary cap, but it always comes down to guaranteed money. It's like the salary cap really just guarantees like how much you're going to spend within that one season. But from a player's perspective, it's like you want a contract that's guaranteed many years.
Yeah,
whereas
I
like
guess
the NFL is always.
The point I'm trying to make is like the NFL owners could all decide that there's no such thing as guaranteed money, and that's not collusion, right? They would negotiate it with the players. You know what I mean? Like they can talk.
Yeah, but
to
I don't
each
think
other.
the NFLPA would ever agree to that.
Yeah, they can agree. They could agree not to agree to it. But this is like unenforceable, right? You know what I mean? Like if the league sends a memo out and says, "Hey, it's probably not a good idea to fully guarantee people's contracts, especially at that number," right? Don't do it. But it's not enforceable. Like the Browns did it. Anybody else can do it. They're not going to get fined or anything. So I don't see it as collusion.
Well, because technically, shouldn't it be like an open market? Like you can't.
But it's not an open market because they agree to salary caps and they agree to how many players you can have on your team and they agree to all kinds of stuff.
Fully guaranteed money has nothing to do with the salary cap.
It has a lot to do with the salary cap.
The salary cap limits you to how much you can spend within a year.
Yeah, but if you fully guarantee money,
like
it's
separate
it
from what
impacts
you're
the
actually
salary
guaranteed
cap.
to make in whatever your contract is.
Yeah, but it limits how much you can pay anybody.
Right, but it's still not stopping the NFL from giving people fully guaranteed contracts. I just feel like if they did start giving fully guaranteed contracts, they wouldn't be making as much as what they're making right now as far as like the total size in the contract.
I don't know if that's true. I think they would actually make more. Just if the player gets hurt, then
plus the
you can't
contracts would be
replace them.
shorter. I feel like they would be like 3 years at max.
Yeah, I don't know. I think that like because the way it works now is they spend more, right? They spend more than their salary cap by not guaranteeing the money, right? But if you guaranteed the salary and a guy got hurt, then he's on. Just look at the Deshaun Watson thing. He's on your team. You're paying the money, right?
I feel like regardless if it's fully guaranteed and not fully guaranteed, it's going to affect it in the same way.
Well, because just the way they structure it, they end up paying more than what their cap would be for this year.
But to be fair, and I think most people understand this too, is that most NFL teams, they understand that when you have like a 5-6 year contract, it's really like a 3-year contract. Like because like when you get to those later years, the hit to the cap is so high, they're already expecting to either renegotiate and extend it further or just cut it out and.
Yeah, I mean the whole thing's weird, right? Because I mean, it works, but the whole not guaranteed part is starting to cut both ways, right?
But yeah, I don't know. It'd be interesting. I wonder. Do you know when the next like agreement between the NFL and the NFLPA comes up? Because I feel like that's going to be. I feel like there's going to be a significant holdout.
Yeah, I mean, I
Whenever
think I
that
saw
time
that.
comes
I
around.
mean, unrelated. I think I saw that there are rumors that baseball's going to do another lockout, which, I mean, I don't know.
Is that well?
I
I guess
would
this would be for next year, right?
something like that. But like for football, like there's just so much money that I don't think that there's going to be anything.
Yeah, I mean, it would hurt both sides.
Yeah, I mean,
You
as
gotta
long
keep
as
the machine
the
going.
well, yeah. All right, so you want to talk about the thing that like got me going the most?
Yeah, I think this is probably the most important thing. Because I feel like for the last 2 or 3 years, we've been wanting the NFL to show accountability for the lack of consistency when it comes to referees.
Yeah, and this, I mean, and we in particular are very much like, hey, the NFL is like, favoring the Chiefs and stuff. So like when this was on, when you sent me this text, I saw it on Twitter. It's like, oh, NFL fires referees, 3 top referees. Okay, that seems unfair, but the refs coincidentally were involved in 3 of the Chiefs' most controversial wins, right? And it's just like, well, the Bengals were in one of those games, right? And then we get the list of referees that were fired. So you got umpire James Carter, Robin DiLorenzo, and then first-year down judge Robert Richardson, right? And it's like, oh, Robert Richardson, he's in Alex Kemp's crew. And week 2, Bengals at Chiefs. So you're thinking, okay, vindication, right? and I mean, I don't have it, but there was speculation that he got let go because of that play, right?
I could try to post the picture in Discord real quick.
Okay,
I'm gonna try to
do
pull that screenshot.
Yeah.
But if you want to keep explaining, I can.
Okay. So then we thought, okay, well, and I guess, we see DJ 100 down judge. I'm getting ahead of myself. So just as a reminder, it was this play. Boop. And you could see flag right there. This guy throws the flag, right? And you're like, Kemp's crew, Richardson, who was let go, Richardson. So Bengals fans, right? You're thinking, okay, they got the guy that got us, right? But then you start to dig into it and you say, okay, well, who's 99? Not our guy. It's Lovan Pham. That's not this guy, Rob Richardson, right? Oh, and here,
Yeah, it was a grok message,
Yeah.
but I feel like it pulls information from the web, so there must have been like an article or something that cited the wrong plays.
Yeah, it must have been. But the late PI call.
Oh, hold on, let me load up.
Oh.
Are you looking at it?
I did. I had it up. Sorry, I took it down. I might have closed Discord. Oh, there it is. It's back. So this is what Grok says. This guy was involved, but I guess it applies that he was fired because of this PI call, right? Denies favoritism, right? And then here's the guy, and I don't think that's the same guy. I think
No,
it's this guy.
it was that Pham guy that threw the penalty.
Yeah, this guy clearly threw the flag.
But we eventually did see, is it Richardson or Richardson?
Here he is throwing the flag. 99 clearly, right? Yeah, and if you see later when the refs get together to talk about it, right? So
It's 103.
And then you see 99, who's the guy threw the flag, and you can see him explaining what he saw, right? So he's talking about it, and then later you see the innocent party in this instance. The down judge, 100, is not the same guy. Then we go, and side judge, Lo Van Pham, is the guy who threw the flag. So unfortunately, Bengals fans are not vindicated.
I wonder if I can find that article that cites those plays, because maybe that's a smoking gun. Maybe they got rid of the wrong guy, and
They didn't know the difference.
Well, I mean,
he's like, it wasn't me.
Well, I think one of the other articles you were looking at, the way they made it sound was, I mean, they did show that he was a first-year referee in the NFL, but it sounded like he was more demoted than actually fired, because it sounds like he's going back to the college ranks, not the professional.
And then based on this interview he did here, so this is an old interview, 3 years ago, but he's a Big 12 ref. So my guess is he's probably going to go back to the Big 12. Just a guess. But either way, not our guy. Our guy is Lo Van Pham. Hose the Bengals.
Yeah,
they fired the wrong guy. It's a mistaken identity.
Yeah. I wonder why they referenced that play then. Or I wonder if maybe he got in trouble with...
For clicks, man. For clicks and clout.
Yeah. I heard like those gambling apps now. Like, you know how you could do like... What are they called? Parlay bets? Where
I know about parlay bets.
They're saying it like surpassed $200 billion last year. In the United States alone, sports bets.
Yeah, I think those are the most profitable.
Yeah,
for the casinos or the house, because it's like really hard to hit a parlay, but they're so much more fun.
Well, yeah, because it's like you put a little bit of money to.
Yeah, you can put if you do enough parlays, you can turn like $1 into like $1,000 real quick. They never hit, but. I mean, it's all about the fun.
Yeah, I think if you just do it once in a while, just off of a whim, but not just as long as you're not doing it for like everything, and that's when
I do it for everything. I get crazy with it too.
Really? How come you never talk about it?
Because I always lose.
Oh,
trust me, if I hit one, you'd hear about it.
That's why, like, was it FanDuel? It was funny because for a while there, you could do it in Texas, FanDuel, and then it went away. And now I think you can do it. But I don't know. It would always be like the first couple of weeks, I would do really good. And then, like, the rest of the year, it would just be like a crap shot. Like, don't really win anything. But, like, the first couple of weeks, I don't know. There was a few where, and when it comes to FanDuel, because there's so many submissions, like, even if you're just 2 points off from, like, the top score, that's still, like, would be off like 150. And like the way they did price pools was that, like, if you're number one, that's when you made like 150,000, and then like top two or whatever, 2 and 3 went down to like 50,000 to 25,000. Then even when you're in like the top 100, you're still making like 1,000. And I was like a fraction off of like a point or something. So I went from like making like 1,000 to like $300 off the first week.
That's still pretty good.
No, it was pretty good. I just used it. I used that amount the rest of the year and just lost it all. So it was like, it was great. Just basically I played for free the whole year.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm a very bad gambler when it comes to sports betting.
Yeah, I just don't like gambling in general. Or I mean, I don't mind doing it like for fun with the expectation of like I'm not going to make any money off of it.
Yeah, I do feel like I'm pretty good like during the game to sense when it's gone wrong, right? But so I guess you could probably do live betting on it, but it's just, you know, hard to do.
I feel like that's what Jake Paul's app does better. They do.
Well, the apps work pretty good, but like usually like Wi-Fi is bad, and it's like you're in the middle of the game, and it's just, you know.
Okay, I might be thinking of something else, but like the way he does it, you can bet per play, like if it's gonna be a run.
Yeah, that's common. I think that's like
is that microtransactions. I think this is what they.
I mean, they were talking about doing that with like baseball. They were talking about like you could bet on the next pitch.
Yeah.
And you could bet on like, you know, what the next play is going to be in football and stuff. But no, I was just talking about more like in the middle of the game. I could like, I don't know. I don't like how they're calling fouls here. I feel like we're going to end up losing even though we're winning, kind of stuff. But it's hard to get the app to work well when you're in like a stadium, because like usually like you're on cell service and like everybody's trying to send pictures and stuff, and it's just like, you know, because like the odds adjust in real time, but because the cell service is so bad, like you're like always laggy and it's hard to like pick up on stuff. So at least that's my excuse.
Kind of random, but related to what we were talking about. So I've been watching like a lot of clips. I forget his correct name, but it's like Mickey something. He's like a professional gambler.
Okay.
And supposedly he's got like some type of algorithm to where, it actually makes sense. And he bases his bets off of like odds. And I guess his system can tell like when odds, I guess should be, or basically in your favor to bet for, because you know, like if it's a game and if one team should be favored and they want to get other people to bet on the other side, they'll like change the odds a little bit so more people start actually betting on the team that's most likely going to lose. So he found a way to like systematically figure out, okay, well, when it leans too much and like the side that should actually win most likely is going to win, if when it goes down enough, he capitalizes on that on like mini bets. And I was like, that's probably the way to do it, because it's like when it comes to gambling, the house always wins, or they at least try.
Yeah, like Andy Staples did a good podcast on that.
Yeah, no, it's a real thing. Like
it's like a college football thing, but like they had a professional gambler on. He just said that he checks there are like the top sports books in Vegas that take all the like action from the sharps and whatever, and then a lot of the online places set their lines based on what like the big sports book in Vegas does. So if you monitor both, you can kind of like get in before they adjust, kind of thing.
Yeah, so the way it works is that like, because after a while, like when you keep consistently winning like that, they'll like he basically says your bookie will just like stop talking to you, because like they're in the business of like trying to get people to make losing bets.
Yeah.
So like he consistently has to find new people to where they can set up a new account, and that's how it works on his side. Because I was like, why would you need to keep finding new people if it, like, you know what I mean? But then I was like, oh, okay, I see it. I was like, okay, that makes sense. Because like if you continuously win, then they know that you're doing that sharp betting or whatever it's called. But I guess it's is it sharp or shark?
Well, you're called a sharp. You're called a sharp if you are good at betting.
Okay, I could have swore he said it was sharp actions, because it's like you know, like, hey, these
the people that are really good at like sports gambling are called sharps.
Yeah,
and they try to avoid taking too much action from those guys.
Okay,
because you lose money.
I think we're kind of talking
because you want me to be doing the gambling, because I'm just like, hey, yeah, let's parlay like 3 Joe Burrow touchdowns with like a 50-yard field goal and like the Browns lose, right? They're like, yes, give us all that action, right? Like the sharp would be like, yeah, I'm going to take, Oklahoma State. I'm going to take Oklahoma State and I'm going to buy a half point. And they're just like, what?
Is that in football or basketball?
I was just like college football, just like kind of like a game that there might be like $1,000 on the game. And all of a sudden you come in with like $50,000 and it's like completely different than what they thought was going to happen. They're like, oh no, why are we taking $50,000 on like Hawaii? Right. Like, did we really spend a lot of time figuring out what the line should be on this?
Has my connection been pretty good?
Yeah, so far so good. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Like my internet port went out, like where the Ethernet cable goes in.
Uh-huh.
So I've always had it, but I had like the antennas for the Wi-Fi basically.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, I've been using Wi-Fi for the connection, which I think it's holding up pretty good. So
yeah, I've been Wi-Fi the whole time we've been doing this.
Yeah, it's not bad. I guess it's better nowadays. I used to try to do Wi-Fi back in the day, and it was always seemed really unstable. But I feel like a lot has changed the last 10 years. So
yeah.
So I feel like now that I'm actually using it, it's like, maybe I could have used it sooner.
Understatement of the day. A lot has changed in the last 10 years. Yeah, I feel like the world has like flipped over like 8 times in the last 10 years.
Well, specifically Wi-Fi technology.
Oh yeah, of course.
A lot more stable because everything is like on Wi-Fi nowadays, basically.
Yeah. All right, man. You ready to close her down?
Let's do it.
Go try to time it.